And here comes the show. It starts in 3, 2, 1.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
This is The Boop Show, episode 247. Today is Monday, June 1st, 2020. Hey, you guys, welcome back to The Boop Show. This is the BOOP show for Monday. I already said that. It's June 1st. It's 2020. I'm Scott Johnson. Brian Dunaway right there. What's going on, buddy boy?
Oh, hi, Scott. Well, I'm sitting down today, so my dancing is a little bit more restricted, but that's okay.
Yeah, Brian's a little under the weather, you guys, but wish him well. He's it's not the COVID, it's not the Rona. All right.
Not as far as I know. Look what I got in the mail today.
Oh, what is that?
It's a cup of wonder.
Oh, it's a bunch of dice, 20-sided dice.
It's a bunch of all kinds of the dice, all the D&D dice.
What'd this come for? What's this for? Did you get it for?
Just because I saw it and it was on sale, and I thought, cool, man.
It's got the cool leather cup, so you can do like Yahtzee style and shake it up.
A little Yahtzee thing.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So that's my show and tell for this week. That's what that's what just arrived in the mail. Show and mail. Ooh, we can call it show and mail.
Show and mail. All right, I got a show and mail. Somebody sent me this. John Jagger, my co-host and friend from both Core and There Will Be Dungeons, sent me this Wormwood dice holder. Since we're talking about dice, here, I'll zoom this in chat room so you can see it closer. Whoops. And in here,
that almost looks like a train whistle.
it kind of does, but it's a magnetic little coffin wooden thing. And inside are a whole bunch of metal dice.
Holy Moses! How do I get one of those?
You just don't get one, is what you do.
Oh, son of a...
Isn't that cool, though? It's actual
Who said that to
wormwood.
you?
John Jagger did. Isn't that nice?
Oh, yeah, hold on. I'm going to hit him up real quick.
Yeah, hit him up. You know who
like
he
I
is.
need you to get to John Jagger. Shut up.
Yeah, you kind of could just jump straight to jump over the middleman known as me and get right to it. All right, speaking of getting right to it, we are doing that right now with this. All right, we haven't been here in a week. It's been a bit because we had a meeting last week. Or no, it was last week a show. I don't remember now.
No, we did a meeting last week.
Was it the meeting last week or the show last week? It was the meeting.
No, we did a meeting last week because I was going to talk about this game I played today.
Yeah.
Because I played on like the...
because you did notes
24th.
last week, and those notes are still there, and now it all makes sense. Okay,
Right.
I get it now. Time is weird. I don't know what happened to time, but time is weird. Anyway, we had a meeting. We have some cool stuff brewing. We'll let you guys know about what that is soon. Let's just say this. I think this is enough to give away, because I've been a little wishy-washy on some of the details, but
Yeah.
we're trying to advance. We're trying to push Boop into a new phase, and that new phase includes things like broader coverage of the indie world, maybe some interviews with indie devs.
Oh.
Yeah. Being a little more focused on certain games that we review. And again, very focused in the indie space. A lot like we do now, but just a little more. So more on that soon, okay?
Yeah, because, the Boop has always been kind of loosey-goosey, which is all fun.
That's
and
right.
it's still going to continue to be fun.
Oh, yeah, it'll still be fun.
It's always going to be fun,
And
but maybe with a little more this.
Yep, and it's still going to be live streamed, and it'll still be great. So trust me on that. All right, I'm going to talk to the fine folks at home about a weird game, not a weird game, a little game called Horizon.
A little bitty tiny game?
Little bitty tiny game called Horizon Chase Turbo.
Ooh, I think I have this for the PC.
I have this on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, the Nintendo Switch.
You might be familiar with it. It is a... Hold on, I got to fix your camera.
I think I got this on the a Humble Bundle.
Oh, you might have. I don't know if it was in there or not. I got this via code from the developer. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I bought this. I paid money for this.
Look at you, spending money. Look at Scott.
Yeah, spending the big cash. The reason I bought this with cash is because it was on sale for $4.99. And that just seemed like too good of a deal. Now, I had played the original version of this, which was just called Horizon Chase.
Right.
And it was on...
No turbo. That was before they had the nitrous.
Right. And that was on phones. Okay. And the reason I got it there is because everybody said, oh, you got to play this. It's like way better than most racing games. And certainly on mobile. Like, you're going to really be blown away by this. And it's all premium. So you're not you're not getting ads or any kind of stupid microtransactions. Just play this. It's like, Outrun and like 90s era racing games, but with a fresh coat of paint. It looks real nice, but it feels, like that tight kind of racer.
Look at that Viper.
Yeah, do you see that? Well, it's sort of a
I
fake
saw
Viper,
that.
but yeah, it's not really.
Well, yeah, still.
Yeah, they got their own little off-brand Viper going. But as you can see here, chat room, if you're watching the video, we got a bunch of cars lined up. You start with 20 cars, I believe. 15, is it? No, 20 cars. You start in 20th place, and you just start hauling A through these tracks. There's a lot more going on here than just simply, hey, this looks like Outrun. But it does have that
it looks like
feel.
pole position, but with better graphics.
Yeah,
but Outrun,
way better graphics. I mean, Outrun really was that, right? Outrun was like,
yeah, it was. It was all that. It's just that your car's in the center of the screen and the road moves around you.
Yep.
And you mostly are looking for the turn so you can overtake.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And you can
cool.
move. There's movement from left to right, so it's not completely you in the center, but you're not wrong. It is aiming for that kind of visceral sort of, I don't know, more of a basic driving experience. They're not shooting for like realistic physics here, but it's great. I've really liked it. And I liked it on mobile well enough, but I kept thinking there that this game would be way better if it was on another platform with a controller. And
right, like the Switch, which is perfect.
yes, which is where I got it. This is also on PlayStation, Xbox, as well as Steam, I think.
It's definitely on Steam because that's where I own it.
Oh, you got it. All right. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's cool to hear because I'm sure it's actually probably a pretty good version over there. It's more than what I'm describing. It has just the right, I don't know, if you could boil a game down to the feel of the game and why it works so well, this is just a great prime example of a game.
Nothing. The arcade was just the best place ever for racing games for me, and this brings back memories of that.
Yeah,
it looks basic racing. Looks like you just do some pickups as you go along. I guess that's the turbo part of it, where you pick up some fuel tank. Maybe,
you have these turbo collector things, these coins that you want to try to get every level. Because the more of those you get, the more you level up, and the more you level up, the more cars you unlock, the more tracks you unlock, the more competitions you unlock, and that sort of thing. Then you have this other quote-unquote currency, which is just gas, and you need to pick up the gas cans on your turns, or else if you miss them too many times, you're going to run out of gas before your final lap.
Oh, so it's kind of a continue function. I didn't realize
a little bit,
that.
Although you don't continue, you just race again. It's
never of a checkpoint,
right? But it's never like down to the wire where they only give you barely enough gas. But if you're dumb and you're not paying attention, you're going to put yourself in a bit of a pinch if you don't get all the.
That's what I really loved about Outrun, though.
Yeah.
That if you don't make it to the next area, you're so screwed.
Yeah, and you got to put a quarter in because that's how they get you, right?
Yeah.
Because those were those machines that wanted your quarters. This game just has a really nice vibe to it. The sense of speed is really great. The polygonal sort of approach to the graphics is really neat. There's tons of levels, different looks. There's deserts and.
Can you give me just a little bit of the audio? I'd like to hear the
let me play
such a basic thing. It's not probably get some audio on this and listen to the racing and the music. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very like.
Oh, you got that engine wound up. Got some 80s.
Yep, you hear
metal,
that guitar?
Hair
the
metal.
Guitar's pretty good. It's like, hey, you can hear your mom saying, "Hey, I'll be in Dillard's. You guys stay in the arcade. I'll be back in an hour." All right? Yeah, it's kind of got that vibe to it. I just really like what they've done with it and would recommend this very highly, especially right now.
This looks like it. I mean, like you said, it is what it is. This is obviously an arcade racer, but on a console, and some of the Switch would be a perfect place to have this, and it just jacks you up. I'm watching the footage right now, and it's just. Yeah. I talk about Flo a lot, and I like Flo. She's a nice lady, but I like when my brain just locks in. And this is a game that would do that.
Flo is great, except for the spinoff from Alice. That was not a good spinoff.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the greatest. What was that? Alice's Diner?
Yeah, or just Alice.
Diner?
It
was just Alice.
Just called Alice. She worked at Mel's Diner, and her coworker was Flo. And Flo was so popular as a secondary character, mostly because she said "kiss my grits" a lot. That she got her own show, and it lasted like 5 minutes. So it was a real bummer.
Yeah.
For Flo.
So male.
Yeah, male.
Kiss my
male,
grits.
Kiss my grits. And if you don't know who we're talking about, ask your uncle or aunt. Don't ask your grandparents; they don't know. But ask your uncle.
No, they wouldn't know. But you're right. Right, it's the aunt or uncle. They would know.
Yeah, they know what's up. All right, that's my game to start
Well,
with.
dude, I love that game. I meant to ask you why I was talking about it. First of all, is Aquarius Game Studio? That's the studio?
That's who makes it. Aquarius Game Studios.
Okay.
Best I can tell, this is like their first effort. I don't know where these guys came from. I did a little bit of looking. There's some other stuff in here I forgot to mention, like there's like weather effects and track types that affect handling. So if you get rain on the same track, you're gonna get a little slickery stuff going on there. It's rad. It's super rad. In fact, the word rad is perfect for it. It just fits that category.
Is multiplayer of any sort online?
None that I am aware of.
Local?
I guess I haven't looked that deep because I was so busy in the campaign, but I don't think so.
Yeah, usually that's what I do. I mean, most of the time we talk about games in the Boop Show. I don't get much multiplayer time because I'm trying to go through the campaign. Usually.
Yeah, you're a campaign man. I understand.
Yeah, I'm a campaign man. I like to look at the campaigns. I like to see the story. I like to see why I'm playing. I need motivation as a gamer.
He likes to rock the vote and campaign. That's what he likes to do.
That's right.
All right. Tell me some about this here Neversong, which I also got and haven't played yet, but I'm kind of interested in it. So tell me about Neversong, Brian.
That is fantastic. Released this past week, has been in development for a few years now. I started my trek with this game back with when they kickstarted it back in 2018, and it's by Atmos Games. The gentleman in question, who is the main developer, is local to where I live. I'm only about an hour away, and so good on you, South Carolina, because this game is fantastic. It's an indie action RPG with some platforming that makes you want to smack your mama sometimes.
Oh, gosh.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Right?
I do.
Right. Well, if you smacked your mama in this game, she'd probably be a mutated adult because you play as Pete, as in Moss, not as in Parker.
Oh, Pete Moss. Like
Yeah.
I get you. Okay.
Right. You're an orphan, right? You're an orphan, and you and your best girlfriend, friend slash, you're like probably 12 years or so, old or so, and a friend of yours named Rin. She's a girl, the most prettiest girl in town. Yeah, and so she's taking you under her wing because she's Rin like a bird, not like Hoek from the '90s animated cartoon.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
I know what
right?
you mean. Oh yeah. Keep it coming. I like it. I like where you're headed.
So you're on like a bunch of adventures with her. This is all backstory, and so you're out with Rin, as the orphaned Pete, and so Mr. Dr. Smile shows up.
Dr. Smile.
I went with Mr. Dr.
Wow.
Fella Smile. Dr. Smile shows up.
Okay.
While you're on one of your adventures, and he takes Rin like a big old jerk that he is. And you're just Pete. You're just a little, you're a little bit scared, and so you go into a coma. That's right.
Oh gosh,
it is so traumatizing. You go into a coma, but that's okay. This game was originally called Once Upon a Coma until they renamed it Neversong, and now you have awoken. However, things have really gotten bad. You've awoken into a nightmare where Dr. Smile has taken your love Rin and turned all of the adults into either mutated, morphed creatures that you must fight in the boss battles, or maybe some adults that are captured in some cages that will shriek and tell on you if you get too close to them. Yeah, right. So
dark.
Very, very atmospheric game. It's a side scroller, like I said. So you're going left and right. And now this game here, like previous games by Atmos Games, it is one of those backtracking side-scrolling games where you'll go one direction, you'll accomplish some things, you have to head back the other direction again, and things may change screen to screen. Some enemies sometimes will show back up. You've played that, right? Pinstripe?
Sure.
Do
Yeah.
you remember that game?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Also a fantastic game.
Was that these guys? Same people?
Same people, Atmos Games. Same guys.
Didn't know that. That's cool.
So anyway, you're in Red Wind Village, and you got to take your little artsy self through this very atmospheric and, by the way, fantastic music.
Let's hear some of this. I got a little.
Oh, you should totally pull a bit of that music
give
in.
it a little in there. All
Right now he's talking on the phone. So that's some really creepy little sounds and stuff. I don't think there's actually much music in this area. This is like the introduction area where you're kind of figuring out how you solve puzzles and how you interact, and then later on the story actually starts. So that's kind of the prologue.
Evil Rick in the chat says, watch Brian stream yesterday, and the sound design is awesome. So
it is, and this is what you're playing. Should be me playing right now. Thomas Brush is the developer, by the way. He's the primary game developer, lead developer in this game, and so you're trying to find Ren and bring back some normalcy to the town or the village, the Red Wind Village. By freeing these adults and fighting them as bosses.
I love how boing boing you run. You're just so bouncy, man.
He's so boing boing. All right, yeah. So you get out there and you run in. Your allies are the Booty Bum Gang.
Ugh.
They the Booty Bum Gang, and they hang out with you and they give you advice and tips on what you need to do next and how to accomplish each area, which usually involves some form of either smacking some things and doing some platforming, which sometimes can be painful in certain areas, which I found out, unfortunately. But the game is challenging enough, but it's a little short. It's only 5 hours long, but that's okay. The game is $20 brand new out the box on Steam, and I think it's on the Switch as well, which I think I probably would have preferred.
Probably a pretty good Switch game, yeah, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely a great Switch game, but I purchased it, like I said, I kickstarted, I supported it way back when, so I just got the PC, but I had an option to upgrade as well, but they really done well. They've kept us up to date constantly. Really good Kickstarter experience. If you ever get a chance to kickstart support Atmos games in the future, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
So,
how far did you get? How deep are you in this thing?
Well, like I said, it's a 5 hour game. I'm about 3/4 of the way through.
Okay.
And I don't want to give away too many of the story points, but I do think you kind of get an idea of where this game is going. It's kind of, a lot of the game is not really sepia tone, but it's warm colors mostly.
Yeah,
like
definitely
really
has a tone to it for sure. There's like it's
Yeah,
almost like
warm,
there's
muted
a fire
colors.
going on somewhere in some back room.
Right. So when you're
Yeah.
not facing off against adults who have been either morphed or ratting you out by doing their screecher yell from what was that, Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
Yeah.
This game has a very creepy element to it. But you do get a chance to upgrade your weapon. Primarily, you start out with a bat, and you can add some nails to it. Remember that in The Walking Dead?
Oh, sure.
Who had that bat? What was his name?
Why
am I forgetting what's
in The
his
Walking
name?
Dead? Oh shoot, who had the bat?
Nah,
Negan.
Ned.
Negan.
Negan.
Yeah,
Negan. It wasn't Ned.
Nope.
Who would be afraid of Ned?
There was
no
no
one.
Ned. Yeah, as far as I know, Ned was not involved in the making of that game.
Anyways.
But in Neversong, as you traverse the terrain, you'll come across your primary obstacles, which are going to be mostly these spider eggs that are part eggs and part spiders because their legs are crawling around and they look like eyes more than anything.
Yeah.
But I guess they could just be spiders.
I don't love.
But anyway.
I don't love spider eggs, but I understand that they're required to make additional spiders. You know.
That's how nature works.
Let's hear some more. Of this. The music's in here. Here we go.
This is it's music.
Did he do his own music? This guy, this developer?
I don't think he did for this one. He did a lot more stuff with us. He had a lot smaller team with Pinstripe, but I think he brought on a couple of the other developers, and they're listed in the credits. And I can't remember exactly the name. I was meant to write that down, but
I'm gonna find that because I'll bet you right now it's not on Spotify or Apple Music or anything, but I'll bet someone on YouTube has like pulled all this stuff out.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure it's somewhere out there. By the way, you save it Hearthstone, so like you'll be coming across some fireplaces and you'll save it there. You also get a skateboard a little later in the game where you can do some sweet flips and jumps, which is really cool. But the whole thing is told in kind of like a children's storybook type dialogue. In between, so like the in between things are this really well narrated descriptions of what's going on and where you're going. So the whole thing is like this fairy tale, child's nightmare, waking nightmare kind of thing, where you're trying to catch up with Dr. Smile, and he's constantly taunting you, as you would expect from a great side-scrolling platformer. You'll get to a certain point, and you're like, oh, there he is, now I can get him. Nope, can't get him. Because he's gonna do his thing. The reason why it's called Neversong is because there's a lot of musical themes in this as well. What you're primarily doing when you go against these bosses is you're getting their songs from them. So they will give you a song if you beat them. Usually, I think it's 5 notes per boss, and it'll play a complete song. At that time, you can go back to Ren's house where you're staying and crashing at, and you can play the piano. You got to remember it. There's a little memory game here. You got to remember what it was, but you can check your bag.
Yeah.
It's in there too. But you'll get to unlock upgrades to your weapons. And I really have enjoyed this game so far.
I'm putting this code in later today. This looks like so my jam. It looks really cool.
It is terrific. Like I said, a short game, 5 hours, $20. Like I said, that's not bad for a 5-hour game, brand new out the box. In coming months, maybe it'll drop down a little bit. I don't know. If you don't have the money for this right now, I think Pinstripe was on sale last time I looked on Steam, but I don't know if that is true currently. But Atmos Games, ATMOS Games. Like I said, I believe this is for the PC and the Switch for sure, but I'm not sure what other platforms.
Yeah, PC and Switch for sure. There it is, Pinstripe. Right. Oh, right, I remember Pinstripe. This is totally
also a priest in a hellscape, essentially. So Atmos games it's usually a little more like fairy tale, dark tales kind of thing. So but I enjoy these games.
It's very cool. Let's see. I'm trying to see if maybe their store has a soundtrack. No.
Oh yeah. I know we can probably find out who the developer and the credentials and stuff.
Well, and they've got.
I thought I copied it in my show notes, but I did not, and I apologize for that. In the future,
they've got a YouTube channel.
All the information.
They've got a YouTube channel with a bunch of stuff. Interesting. They didn't make. Oh yeah, Thomas Brush. Did he have something to do with? Shoot, what's that called? The little guy with the horn head. It's a Metroidvania game. It's
Hornhead.
Called Hollow Knight. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, Hollow Knight. No, but it does have kind of that similar idea. This was built in, I believe this is a Unity game.
It was using
Serenity
Unity.
Forge was the other developer and publisher, by the way. And they are known to do publishing for, maybe even do development on the Cyanide and Happiness. Freakopolis? Freakopolis? Is that right? Did I say that?
I don't know. Is that how you say it? I don't know.
Yeah, so definitely look at the publisher as well because they were also co-developers on this Serenity Forge on Steam. Love that. And I'm trying to see if in the credentials.
Oh, they have the Neversong original soundtrack on Steam, so you can add that.
Yeah, I was thinking it was somewhere because he did that last time with Pinstripe too.
Yeah, I may have to grab that.
Usually,
because that seems.
I'm trying to remember the artist that did it though. I can't recall. I apologize. But yes, Once Upon a Coma, originally, now Neversong.
Boy, everyone
is
talks
the intersection of Night in the Woods and Hollow Knight, so good call.
Oh, I was right then. All right then.
He didn't develop it, but it was definitely in that vein.
In that vein, right. Right, give it to me right in my veins. Okay, next up.
Right.
I've been spending a lot of time on the Switch, and I don't know why, just a lot of Switch time. And I'm going to tell you about a little game called Ministry of Broadcast. Have you heard of this?
I have not heard of this at all.
All right. It's a weird little game. I'd call the gameplay of Ministry of Broadcast inspired by, if not really heavily influenced by things like the old Prince of Persia, the old classic 2D one.
Ah, yes.
The game is set in a totalitarian country divided by a wall. The character named Orange is your name. You must compete in a lethal reality TV show called The Wall Show. And basically you have to go through various levels of
Wall Show.
It's through a bunch of traps. There's enemies. They got guard dogs. You got to avoid hostile stuff.
Wait, are they German shepherds?
Yes. Well, they look like them. I assume they are.
Right.
There are spikes and piranhas. There are puzzles you got to solve. There are other contestants in the world that you run upon, and sometimes they can help you get out of a problem, or you got to fight them sometimes. But the actual movement and play of the character and stuff is very Prince of Persia. It does this whole thing in this very cool 16, 8-bit something style, but has like this depth of field thing going on. Oh. It's very cool. It makes it look, I don't know, it's kind of unique. It doesn't look like a lot of other games.
So when you're side scrolling, you still get that depth of field because the front plane is not moving as fast as the middle plane, or I'm sorry, probably moving faster.
I mean, it's parallax, which is a normal thing, but in this case, they also blur that parallax layer. So
yeah, I'm looking at it now, and it's gorgeous. I like it because you wouldn't expect it from this low bit chunk. How about chunky bits? They're more like chunky bits.
Chunky bits. Those sound tasty. I do remember that. There is some of that. It's just a cool there's almost kind of a Running Man vibe going on, like the movie The Running Man.
Yeah. I'm looking at the background. I'm seeing like watching all this propaganda posters.
Oh yeah, big time.
For such a simple art style, I love the way he's walking. I've played some other games like this that use this chunky style, just waddling walk. Yeah, I really like it. I dig it.
Yeah, nobody has a proper gait in this game. They all move
right.
weird.
I'm looking at it now. It's like they're all walking with poops in their pants.
Yeah, they all look like they've crapped themselves. But it's kind of endearing, and I like it quite a bit. Here's some audio from it, just so you can get a little taste of that.
Give us a little
some
bit
dialogue.
Taste it. I want to feel some of it. I want to right here, my tongue. Just.
Oh, I thought they had little when people talk.
Yeah, it might be so because they're in an interrogation room right now. So probably not the.
Yeah. So what they do instead is they just kind of have weird sounds when they talk. But like, let me skip ahead and I'll give you another little piece here.
But you're a ginger.
So he makes fun of him because he's a ginger. So atmospherically, it's a lot of this. It's like realistic and sounds like you're in a big industrial area when you run in the snow. It sounds like snow.
I like they've made some really good artistic choices here. They're using a cool palette, and then they're using like these warm colors in front of it, or these reds and gingers that kind of make the character stand out.
Yeah, it's very good.
So smart art direction, if nothing else.
The chat room's right. He looks a little like you're controlling Conan O'Brien a little bit. Sure.
I love that idea. I love that idea. But it is like a cold world because it's all snowy and stuff. I don't know if that's throughout the game or not. And this game is called Ministry of Broadcast.
Ministry of Broadcast. So it's like, hey, it's a dystopian future where Big Brother's watching and you're all basically in prison. And if you want to do anything, you got to go fight for yourself and kind of play this Running Man game. And
right,
it's all very
Does Arnold show up at any point in time?
No, nobody liked Arnold. No,
crap.
No, unfortunately, you're kind of.
How about
Arnold.
Richard Dawson? Does
No.
Richard Dawson show up?
No.
Okay, fine.
He wants to kiss you when he finds you. That's
right. You think that would happen? You think Richard Dawson would have kissed you?
If I was a lady, yeah. He never kissed the dudes, but yeah, I probably chose a lady.
Not that they showed on air. They could show.
Not that we showed. Yeah, they would cut to the
like
commercial and he was
TV,
making out with a dude.
He's doing it again. Cut the commercial.
Cut. Go to freaking Keebler Elves, quick. Anyway,
this is the 70s. You can't do that right now.
Exactly.
Ministry of Broadcast. HitSense.
HitSense is who made it. Yep, they're cool. And they seem like a very small group. They don't have a ton of other stuff on their catalog. This is available via Steam. It is also on Switch. I did not check other platforms. I assume it probably is available on those stores as well, because everything is these days, kind of how it works. It's a nifty little thing. So kind of stealthy, has moments of stealth in it.
Okay.
Got moments of just sort of run and don't die kind of adrenaline action stuff.
Now, right. So is it almost all stealth? Because I haven't really seen him wield any weapons or any interaction. Really.
You can interact with stuff in the world. And see, here's a good example of like a part of the factory isn't where it's just trying to kill you.
Right.
So there's some of this just sort of platformy, like, I got to make it to my
thing.
Oh my
God.
Yeah, I know. It's intense.
I just watched him jump just then, and it was such a low jump.
Yeah.
I like platforming, and I had trouble with Neversong as well because sometimes when platforming seems like everything's out of reach.
Yeah.
It's like you just got to get right to the edge and jump.
Yeah.
I don't need that for every jump.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that just being occasional.
What's weird about this game is, I agree with you. What's weird about it, though, is through the whole thing, no matter whether you're jumping, puzzle solving, whatever combination of those gameplay aspects we're talking about, there's dialogue that's just inexplicable. So you'll be just running around, and then suddenly you'll go, I could sure go for a meatball. And then someone will walk in the room and go, dogs aren't very cool. That's just like the weirdest dialogue. Like everybody talks about nonsense. And some of it
sounds nonsense talk, though.
Some of it sounds like it's almost being generated on the fly, like it's just not.
Right. So like, okay, so this is an interesting question because I'll pop back into Neversong. Neversong is fantastically read by actors, and it is fantastic. But occasionally I'll come across a character that the dialogue is not read for, even though through most of the game, in addition to seeing the dialogue is read by an actor.
Yeah.
And so it kind of, I'm like, is that an artistic choice? Or they not find an actor for that? Was it just at that point? So you say this characters have background dialogue sound going on, but do they have when they're talking in the dialogue boxes, do they actually read?
No, there's no English coming out of these people.
Oh, good.
It's like
good. I actually
weird
like
little
that.
beep, 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 or it's just some strange sounds that get made. It's mostly you reading it, and a lot of it is you don't need it. Like,
Who's this rogue over here
what
dancing
rogue?
around? Who's that guy?
Who? Where? The guy at the bottom?
Guy in the green, yeah.
Oh, I don't know what he is. It's probably it's one of these puzzles. So you see how there's like a pressure pad. He's got to step on it at the exact right time. That police guard guy's got to be in the right place at the right time. I mean, very Prince of Persia, this stuff.
Yes.
In a good way. It's cool. Go get it. Check it out. I want to say it was only...
Ministry of Broadcast. You got it on the Switch, and I think that's probably maybe the best place to get it. I don't know. I kind of want to play this on a Steam because I'll be honest with you. I'm looking at this game, and the characters and the everything just seems like it wouldn't be great on my Switch Lite. You don't think that the Switch
That's where
Lite...
I'm playing it. It's not bad. It plays good there.
You don't think that the Switch Lite is a lot smaller screen than the regular Switch? And it really isn't. But when you look at it, I'll be playing games on the Switch Lite. And I'll be sitting next to my fiance who uses the regular Switch. And I'll look over and I'm like, what rich colors? And why is her screen so big? I'm like, what is going on? Why am I jealous of that console right now?
That's because everybody wants a bigger screen. I get it. Like, there's nothing.
I mean,
the
it's
Switch
not like
Lite,
a lot bigger. It's just like...
It's only a little bigger, but it's big enough for you to notice.
Really?
Yeah, but it's big enough for you to notice. I understand. But here's the other thing. While your fiance is over there playing with a big fat screen and with the colors and the whatever you're saying, but she's got a terrible D-pad and you have a proper one. And a game like this is great with a D-pad.
Yeah,
that's how I'm playing.
And you know, it's only and also she's starting to get drift in the left control stick, which I know, and I'm like crap, and it's the worst time to try to pick up a Joy-Con right now. I mean, usually that you can pick up one for $79.
Yeah.
Even Walmart usually has them for $69. But Walmart's going, no, we're going $79 right now. We're not doing our usual discount. And you know what else? If you try to go to Amazon and find any, they're all $114 sold by third parties. I'm like, what the?
Well, I found one on Amazon. It's funny you mentioned this. I don't know if it's any good. The reviews are okay, but it's made by some knockoff company called Kinvoka. It's a Joy-Con controller replacement for Nintendo Switch, left and right Joy-Con pad with wrist strap, all that. $45. $45.
Is that the one with it's like curved on the outside?
Yeah, it's got a weird curve edge to it to kind of I guess, I don't know if they were just trying to avoid patent problems or what. Right. I don't know. But yeah, they exist. Let's see, there's some others. I mean, what I would probably do if mine were drifting, my daughters are drifting too. I would probably just use my Pro controller or something like that.
Yeah, I thought about that, but she likes to play it in bed, and so it's kind of annoying to play the Pro controller and have the Switch not in your hands when you're laying in bed.
Yeah, some of these seem like they're getting decent reviews. Like
I know. I saw the same thing. I thought it wasn't bad, and it was like $35 or something for a set. I was like, maybe I'll take a chance. Maybe
Amazon will let you send it back if you don't like it. You can send it back.
That's true. That's true.
If you
so
have to,
Ministry of Broadcast, I'm going to pick this up. And you said, did we say it was on the Steam, or did we figure that out?
Ooh, they have replacement thumbsticks. You could get all Brian Dunaway on this.
I saw that, but I mean, I've watched the videos on the replacement thumbsticks, and they are aftermarket thumbsticks. It
sounds like a nightmare, dude. I don't want to do it.
It is. It's like a 4-hour tear down, reassemble process, and if you do it right the first time and don't screw up anything, don't break anything, clips or anything while you do it, and God forbid if the screwdriver they sent with it is not of decent quality. Yeah, I saw this kit and I was like, yeah, that's not bad. Like what, like $13 or something for two? But then I read some reviews were kind of like, oh, the stick was it automatically does the click down when I'm playing these other games. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
I don't want to go through 4 hours worth of hassle just for it to,
Yeah, you can play video games in that time. I understand.
Right.
Speaking of games, we both played Minecraft Dungeons. I would like to really get your opinion before I weigh in. So tell me how you felt about your time in Minecraft Dungeons. Brian.
Absolutely. So I talked about Minecraft Dungeons briefly before because I was in the beta, but the full release came out this past week, and I played it on the Xbox Game Pass. It's free there if you have the Xbox Game Pass. I will say this about the Minecraft dungeons. It's a dungeon crawler as you would expect, and it is easy enough to get started, and it's compelling enough and challenging enough to keep me going. Now, is it going to give you Diablo level satisfaction? No, it's not. But is it a fun little romp in the Mojang Minecraft world? Absolutely. And I love the illagers, and I just love how it plays, and I like upgrading, my weapons as I go along. It's very simplified. They're showing the orb right now, which is actually a square, but that's Minecraft for you.
Nothing round in that world, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's no round in that world. I mean, and so, yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. It is absolutely a dungeon crawler, and it is a little toned down and a little more simplified.
Okay, so here's my rebuttal. I think it's way too simplified, and they had an opportunity here to make something with some more depth, and they missed the opportunity. Now, you're right that it's a good, fun little short time. It was okay. I didn't find it challenging at all on any difficulty setting. It was just really easy.
How far did you go in? Because the difficulty setting isn't really a factor until you get in later levels, because it's the mere volume that ups the difficulty and not necessarily
you get a whole bunch more dudes coming at you and stuff. Sure.
Right.
It's okay, so here's my major problem with it is they went very simplified as an action RPG, which I'm a huge fan of, and I love my Diablos and my Paths of Exile and everything else. I like all those games. This thing to me was just an oversimplification to the point that it was clearly, I don't think, for me. I think this is for if 12-year-old me would have my best friend over my house right now on the couch playing it, I wouldn't be talking to you. I'd be skipping school. I'd say, hey, I'm sick, I can't go to school. Well, I guess now nobody's going to school, but if there was school on, this is what I would be sloughing for, because I'd be playing with my friend on the couch, and I would be in heaven, because this would be me playing in Minecraft world. As it stands, it's not a great one of those if you like hardcore playing some of those.
Yeah, if you've spent years playing Diablo and enjoyed that challenge and that grind, this is not gonna come nowhere near that.
No, it's not even gonna come close. And the other thing to say about it is the part that bums me out about it is an opportunity they missed as the creators of Minecraft, and that is this. None of the world is deformable or explodable or any of that stuff. You have anything that blows up is pre-scripted, and you can't actually affect it. And even things like creepers, which in real Minecraft blow up terrain all over the place, none of that happens in here. So there's no digging through anything. There's no hearkening back to what makes Minecraft, which is this giant voxel world that you can shape yourself. And I'm not saying make it so I'm just playing Minecraft again. I just mean little things like those bombs make big gnarly craters, or those creepers blow up and actually affect the world around them, or things like that would have been nice. That would have been nice.
That's a fair point. However, I just don't know if that would add or subtract from the enjoyment for me for how I'm playing this game. I do not. The thing that probably irritates me the most is the fact that I can't rotate the camera at all, and they've got a terrain, which is fine if you allow me to always see mostly what's going on the screen. But since a lot of the things are like over top of me and it doesn't go transparent when underneath it, that can be kind of frustrating. But they may fix that in later releases. I don't know if they'll bother or not.
It also ends up feeling, I think, like a mod someone made for Minecraft. And I say that because they're so adherent to the look and feel of Minecraft. Your character is perfectly squared off.
Give us a little bit of that sound while you're in there.
Here is that too, but they also have all the textures and stuff on their clothes and things are a little bit blurred out because, again, it's all low res. I understand that that's the core of Minecraft, but I would have liked them to do something closer to what Telltale did with that Minecraft Telltale game, where they stylize stuff up a little bit, give things a little more juice, a little more movement, a little more something, so the world doesn't feel so static and edgy. And by edgy, I don't mean cool edgy. I mean like just everything's got an edge. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just think there were opportunities here to go places with it and make it truly its own thing. And as it stands right now, it feels like some kid hacked the camera to be pulled out 3/4 view and just made a mod for the game. That's how it feels.
I'll fall back onto my previous pricing, comparison or point. So this game is, first of all, primarily was meant to just be fodder to throw at the Game Pass, right?
Yeah, probably.
Otherwise, it's a $20 game. It's co-op. You can play, or you can play through the camp. You can play through the campaign, and then you can also play co-op. You can play local co-op, and I think you can also play online co-op, which you can, yes, on the Xbox.
I believe so. You can play it on the PC one too. That's where I played it with Game Pass.
And you get, and there's not a lot of choices for things and modifications, but you do get a chance to, you can have a llama fight alongside you. You can have a wolf who kind of. So I mean, is there a lot of depth there? No, I'm with you. I think they should have been more adventurous with this property because it could have been huge.
Yeah.
However, I think is another little touch with Minecraft and $20. I mean, I'm not going to poo-poo it. I think it's properly priced. I think it's a nice little addition if you've already got the Xbox Game Pass. I jumped in. I had fun. The runs are really short. You can just hop in. I'm enjoying it right now.
Well, I would like someone in the chat reminded me it was happening and I'd forgotten. But I'm looking forward to Hightail, which is kind of a Minecrafty sort of thing, but built to be an adventure right away, rather than just in the Minecraft knockoff. And it is, I'm trying to find a release date. I don't think there is one yet. It says 2020 is the plan, but they don't have a date.
Oh, well, everything this year, if there's a plan for this year.
Well, that's what's weird is some things had a plan for this year and they're all left up. And then there were some things we didn't even know were coming and suddenly they're just coming out this year. Like that remaster of Saints Row 3 just suddenly pooped out of nowhere. It's like, boom, there it is. And then there was another one. Paper Mario thing on Switch coming out in July. Like, what? When did you? They never announced it. It just came out of nowhere.
No. So that kind of makes you ask. It's like, oh, are they kind of like just waiting for the right moment to release? It's already been done. It's just ready to go. Maybe the development team is in a different area where it's not impacted as much. It's a good question though, but it's been frustrating. Every time I see a release date for something, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it. I've only been like getting excited like week to week.
Yeah.
I don't even bother looking month to month anymore. I just, look what's coming up next week. It's got to be coming out. Yeah, here it comes.
That's a good point. A couple quick mentions. So, by the way, again, that's Minecraft Dungeons. That's out on both PC, Game Pass. It's also on. Actually, who else is carrying that?
It's on the Xbox store, Microsoft Store.
Yeah, that I knew. 10. So if you want Xbox if you're on Xbox or PC and you want to pay for it, both Microsoft stores will let you do that. If you have Game Pass, you just play it.
Right.
And in theory,
but
in
not
perpetuity,
only. But I don't think it applies to the Ultimate though.
It should.
Or this the PC because I could be wrong, but whenever I went to install it on my PC, it wanted me to purchase it, and I have Ultimate, which is for the Xbox and for the Game Store.
I only have the little half-ass PC one, and it's it's free for me. I don't know.
Did it there? Okay, so interesting. Maybe I just didn't have any luck there.
I don't know what that is. I think they're a little weird on how they present some of that stuff, but they could tighten that up. But anyway,
tighten up.
I think you can get it on Epic maybe or somewhere else has this. It's not just It's not just Xbox PC stuff. I
thought it was exclusive up until a certain point. Is it on the Epic Store?
I know it's not on. Is it Epic?
It's definitely not Steam.
Definitely not Steam. Yeah, Epic Minecraft.
We got a chat room. Kale Nas confirmation. Did it both on PC and Xbox and have the Ultimate. So I don't know what was going on. Maybe
something went weird with your account or something. Who knows?
Weird.
Okay, you're right. Right now it's exclusive to the Microsoft platforms. They own it, so of course that makes sense. They bought Mojang for a whole lot of money.
They sure did, and they gotta milk it.
Whole lot of
milk
money.
the Minecraft.
Get that money. All right. Quick mention.
Speaking of money and bells.
Oh yeah, how's that going? You playing? I'm playing every day. Every day. Every day. My Switch is on, and I'm playing.
Me too. I play every day as well. And so today was June the 1st, and I haven't really, like I said, I haven't been watching for any deadlines or anything upcoming. I haven't been keeping up to date, but I forgot today was a new month and probably as well kind of a new season for fishing because this morning, first thing I saw when I was fishing, I caught a great white shark.
Whoa.
I was stoked.
Baby shark. Oh, no. Oh,
Big giant shark. Doot, 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 doot. And then I also caught a whale shark and an eel, and I got a suckerfish, which looks like a shark by the silhouette, but it's just a little suckerfish. And I also caught a tilapia in the river.
Whoa.
So those are some of the new things I hit. Also noticed that I went to the Nook Shop. The Nook Shop has a new section where they added another place to sell.
Yeah, they're doing Kids Week or Month or something, and they're selling some like homemade crown from like little kids crepe, paper made crown thing and
right
stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty
love
cool.
it.
Yeah,
Animal Crossing. I got a problem. Help me.
Help me too. It's like a drug. It's a drug. It's a drug. I should know. Have opened it up just now. All right, putting it back. I've also continued to play Deep Rock Galactic pretty much daily. Try to get a couple of missions in. That thing is very close to being my favorite game of the year. It's definitely my favorite co-op game of the year.
Right.
Because it's such a good co-op game. But man, Deep Rock Galactic, dude, I just want to be mining and fighting spiders and getting back to the ship and upgrading my dude and changing my beard. He's just
changing my beard. I didn't even know that was an option.
You can totally change your beard.
That alone could be a mini game.
It could be. You're not wrong. Now this.
It's a me Mario.
Guess my game. We get to guess each other's games. We play a little audio from games from the past. Sometimes it can be recent past. Sometimes way back in the day. And we try to guess what they are. So Brian, I'm going to play mine. I want you to guess what this is. I will give you a hint. Think 16-bit era. Okay.
All right.
Chat room.
Stink bit era.
Stink bit era. Chat room, you try as well. Here you go. This is the beginning when you first turn the game on.
I like the piano. Oh. This sounds like a time thing.
Chat room already knows.
Oh, so it is. It must be what I was thinking too. Is it Chrono Trigger?
It is Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, that time noise at the beginning kind of gives it away.
Yeah, it was kind of a giveaway. I got some actual gameplay here in a second. Let's see. Oh, that's them dancing. Hold on. I mean, it's turn-based JRPG, so.
Oh yeah, Chrono Trigger is a great classic, and I think they just did they just release a remaster? Because I went down a rabbit hole recently with Chrono Trigger for a reason. I was on Discord, and somebody was telling me some stuff was going on because it was talking about Final Fantasy, and they said, "Am I remembering that correctly?"
Well, Chrono Trigger is on PC. It came out in 2018, but my memory is people didn't like what they did to it.
Right.
But I don't know what that means. I still kind of want to check it out. I never played it, by the way. Chrono Trigger, never played it.
I played it for a show that was before this show. It was for the final score. I played it there for our old school pick of the week.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. You did. Now that I think about it, currently $14.99 on Steam. I don't know if it's anywhere else.
What?
Do you think
I'll give you $5 for Chrono Trigger.
Okay, you don't want to pay $15, do you? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm going to Good Old Games right now.
All right, I'm looking on the eShop for Nintendo Switch because I do not think they have it, but I could be wrong.
No. Do I have this already?
Chrono Trigger.
Like one of my machines?
I take it back. Oh, no, they don't. It's not that. Closest thing I got was something else. Chrono Trigger, not currently available on this platform. However, if I was going to get it, if I was to pay, and I would probably consider paying $14.99, I'd get it here. I want to play it on this. That's what I want.
I have now made a deal. I will give you $14.95 if you will materialize the Chrono Trigger.
That's right. Make it happen out of...
The consumer has spoken.
I have spoken. All right, here's your clip. Let's see if I can figure it out.
The year's 1996.
96, so a year after my game.
Grab all the items you see. There's plenty of them in each level. And if you get enough of them, you'll be in for some surprises.
Originally on the PlayStation video game system.
This is PlayStation, eh?
Aren't these game designers wonderful? Giving you a guidepost to help you find your way. How convenient.
I had this. I rented it from the Blockbuster. and ripped it to play it on my PlayStation video game console.
Yeah.
I purchased it completely legitimately and played it.
Yeah. No, don't be calling us now, everybody. I
Right.
don't know what this is.
Can you think
it's-
of any annoying characters who had their own little, games that...
It's not Conquer, right? That was a
No, Tazroll
N64.
Banjo-Kazooie is a good guess. That's kind of like in the same vein or idea. This one
not-
wasn't as popular.
It's not Gex, is it?
No, it's not, but that's also, once again, in that kind of era. Jack and Daxter's also a good guess. Those are all kind of in that area. I'll tell you what, the game ended with the title character's name and then ended with 3D. So titular
Oh.
character, last name of the game, 3D. Does that get anything? The first word starts with a B.
I was going to say Rayman. Okay, not Rayman. B. Bumblebee. Beelzebub. Bonker.
You was close with the bub.
Bubsy.
It's
Bubsy.
Bubsy
3D. Bubsy 3D.
Remember that stupid little squirrel thing? He was a squirrel,
Yes,
right?
He
Is that what he was?
Bubsy sucked. That was a bad
Yeah,
game.
Bubsy wasn't the greatest. He wasn't anybody's favorite, I wouldn't think, but I could be wrong.
Someone present me the fellow or lady who loves Bubsy, and I will eat my hat that I'm wearing right here.
And I will eat my hat, good sir.
Yeah, the Bubsy NES game is the one I saw. I don't think I ever saw the PlayStation one, but
Yeah,
I assume it looked like
yeah, like a
garbage.
whole. The Accolade was shipping this out in a couple of different, different versions and different platforms. This one ended up on the Sega as well, I believe.
Oh, there we go,
As the
Bubsy
PlayStation.
3D. Oof, that looks rough, dude.
Yeah, I was disappointed when I got my PlayStation Classic Mini that this wasn't on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing you want to.
Right.
It's the kind of thing you want to be sad about. Oh,
Yeah.
chat room. The art on this is just horrendous. Hold on here. Look at this thing. Look at that old PlayStation 1 business.
Look at that trash. Look at it.
Yeah.
You know you love it.
I don't love it. I hate
You
it.
know you love it. You gotta love it. Look at that.
I think Bubsy was a problematic release, is my memory.
Yeah.
But well done. Good one. And
Now the thing I did like about Bubsy was it was during that time when we weren't too far away from when Steven Spielberg jumped in and had Tiny Toons.
oh yeah,
And,
that's true.
Tiny Toon Adventures and kind of stuff. So it was kind of like we were enjoying these childish characters that were narrated in such a way, and it was.
You know
was a
how I
product
feel
of its
about
time.
Tiny Toons, though. I freaking hate Tiny Toons. I hate it.
Well, yeah, I hate some of Tiny Toons,
I hate
but
it
some
all.
of Tiny Toons I love.
It was an affront to the Warner Brothers cartoons of my youth. It was
I
degradingly bad.
disagree.
The only thing
I
worse
suppose
for me
you didn't
are
like Muppet Babies
no,
either.
sir, I did not. I was just about to say the only thing I
Muppet
like
Babies.
slightly less is Muppet Babies. Freaking hate it.
Come on, man.
Oh, Muppet
It
Babies.
was the Muppet Babies.
Yeah, I know. It was bad. They were horribly
You-
animated. They pandered to
you're-
kids. It sucked. It was bad.
Your soul is dead.
Here, I'm going to give you an example of a scene.
So you didn't like Wacko Yakko and Dot and Pinky and the Brain or none of that?
I
from,
like Pinky and the Brain. I did like that.
Animaniacs?
Animaniacs are okay. I thought the animation kind of blew, but the humor was good. They were on the nose there. But the animation was cheap. It was 90s. It was cheap. It was
Yeah, well, yeah.
that would look better today, and they're working on a new one, so I'm excited because
Right.
that actually could be rad looking and be funny. But listen to this Muppet Babies for just a second, just a scene, okay? Yeah, but skip it over here.
Yeah, that's right. It's gotta be in the closet here somewhere.
Would you help us, Nanny? Well, certainly, Scooter.
What a garbage show that is!
that's the only Kermit I can do.
Oh, hello! It's so bad. How can
Oh,
you guys be
come
Muppet
on.
fans?
It
You
was
can't be
so
Muppet
fun.
fans and allow that to exist. You just can't. How can you?
Love it.
They're
Did
not
you
even
ever play the
Muppets. They're
PlayStation?
cartoons. You can't take Muppets and animate them. That's a terrible idea.
Did you ever play any of the PlayStation Tiny Toons or the
No.
games like that?
No, never.
Yeah.
Why would I ever do that? I'm not spending money
Why
on
would I
that.
do that to myself?
All right. You're all look, I understand if you were of a certain age, this stuff would probably landed on you great, but To me, animating your Muppets is like, what's it like? It's like reading a comic. No, it's like reading a comic book based on Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, what are you even doing? Just play the game where it belongs.
Right. Some things are just like that, though. I mean, like when they tried to do the live action comic strips. Remember those?
Oh yeah,
they did those for a while.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it just doesn't. It never works right. Maybe
doesn't work right, and neither does this. So take that. And I don't mind sometimes. I think Space Jam's a good time. I like Space Jam. I like, I'm trying to think of another one. I can't. Also, I'm very wary.
Think of another one.
I'm working on,
all my best friends are Space Jam.
I'm digging through what Warner Brothers has cartoon-wise so far on HBO Max. And here's the thing. They've got some brand new Looney Tunes show.
Yeah.
And I'm terrified to watch it because I'm almost 100% sure it will be bad because they don't know how to capture the spirit of the original stuff. They don't know what they're doing. It's hard. Animaniacs is as close as we've gotten to it. I'm telling you, it's as close as we've got.
You're right. Animaniacs. I think Animaniacs was the closest we ever got to.
Right. And the chat room saying, what about Bruce Timm's animation for Batman? I love the Batman animated series. I love it. And it's cheap crap animation from the 90s, but it didn't matter. The tone was right. The acting was good and the stories were good. It made for a good cartoon.
Yeah, the Batman didn't depend on the animation for good storytelling.
No, it didn't.
The storytelling was just good.
All right.
And it just happened to be animated.
But Muppet Babies? What was going on there?
Now the chat room is screaming Freakazoid. Surely you must have enjoyed the Freakazoid.
I like Freakazoid, okay. Yeah, sure. You know what I liked? I liked Gargoyles. That was cool.
Oh, that was a great show.
Yeah, that was badass.
Tune in next week when we have the Boop offshoot comics.
It's called Boink. That's what we'll call it.
It'll be called Bop.
Yeah, Bop. Boop and Bop. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Voltron, that stuff's cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Plenty of great animation from the era. I'm just saying, whenever they've tried to recapture stuff from... it's even hard for me to watch modern, like, Muppety things, because I'm like, that's not Jim Henson. That's not even, what's his name, doing the voice of Miss Piggy. It's somebody else. He's too busy now, like, it's just not the same.
I don't mind.
I don't know.
I don't mind. Because I'll tell you why. And I think I've probably talked to you about this before.
Yeah.
I don't mind because a lot of times I'll get frustrated when I'm watching something like currently going on, and there'll be a series that is similar to another series, and I'm like, they're just ripping off so-and-so.
Yeah.
And then like a decade later, I'm going back and watching, the off-brand stuff, and I'm like, wow, why didn't we have more of this?
Yeah.
Because we should have had more. I mean, case in point, the 80s had the Transformers, and it was much later when I realized how great GoBots was. I'm kidding.
You're such a liar. There's no way. I knew you were coming up on something like that.
I did like the GoBots, though, but it was not Transformers.
The GoBots were fine. They just felt like a generic version of the GoBot or of the Transformers at the time. But
God,
also,
did you
I
love
love Johnny
the pole
Quest. I
position
loved all
cartoon?
that. The which one? Which one?
The pole position cartoon.
No, shut up. There was no such thing. What?
Oh, it was so good. It was like an adventure pole position, but it was so hard to catch because I don't know what happened. If the licensing was bad or whatnot, but you'd watch your regular cartoons on Saturday mornings, but pole position was hard to catch. You had to catch it like early in the morning or like 5 a.m. It was one of those ones that just came on too early.
You know what it is too? It's like anime. Okay, we're gonna look at this. We're gonna watch this intro, guys. Check this out.
Love pole position cartoons.
Check this out, chat room. We're gonna play this.
Arcade.
Here we go. Pole position. Oh, it's only in my left ear.
Like your parents were, you are the secret force of pole position.
You're the secret force of pole position.
They're moving real fast. They're the only ones who can
Wow.
get on time.
Wow. Oh wow, dude. Wow.
I love this show.
No, I like this too, but not because it's good, but because it's bad. I don't like Super Friends because it's good. I love Super Friends because it's terrible, and it's terrible good.
Yeah.
Now,
pole position was so great.
Muppet Babies never crossed over into Terra Bad or Terra Good. It's just bad. It was never so bad it's good. Super Friends, so bad it's good. Pole Position, so bad it's good. He-Man, so bad it's good. But freaking Muppet Babies, Bad.
You would
never good.
Yeah, I mean, Muppet Babies was definitely aimed at a. I mean, it wasn't aimed at a teenager at all. I mean, it was definitely preteen.
Yeah.
What Muppet Babies was aimed at. So I mean,
Sure.
absolutely what you expect. So I'm trying to think what else to say, but mostly I'm just trying to pay attention to see if you've got a Sonic drink in there. Is that like blueberry?
My wife brought me it's Coke Zero with some kind of grape flavor. And this is place
Is it from the Sonic?
It's this local place called Swig. And
they look like they look like they said, "Hey, look at us, we're Sonic."
a little bit. They're this local place that does nothing but just crazy, wacky drink mixes at the window, and they do gangbusters. And during the pandemic, lines of cars out in front of this. It's so weird. It's so weird to me.
it.
They're just doing great. They're hiring
Love it.
like crazy. They're hiring like crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna drink.
We're gonna take a little sip here.
Ooh, that was
So we got to watch next week. Your homework is before we get back to the Boop Show is to watch the entire run of Pole Position. I think it's only like 2 seasons.
Dude, I would watch the hell out of that, and I'm not kidding. I would. All right.
You can do it.
We can do it. Now we can do this. Check it out, you guys. An email came to us to the show at boopshow@gmail.com. This is from somebody named Sean B. Sean Bean. He says this, Scott and Brian, hurry and read this because Sean Bean dies at the end. Just kidding. Hope you're both well and not going crazy in quarantine. Have you all played Slay the Spire? If so, I have a lot. So if so, check out Monster Train on Steam. If not, check out Monster Train on Steam. It's great. So you get what he's saying. He's like, no matter what, try it.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, he says it's a deck building roguelite with tower defense elements. I highly recommend it. Now, you're kind of losing me with the tower defense elements. You know I don't like those. I'm not a fan of the tower defense.
And right now you can save 10%.
Yeah, maybe.
On Steam. So let me take a look at this real quick. I like the art style.
Yeah.
It is very Slay the Spire. I like it. Ooh, I really like the way this looks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about the tower defense part of it, though. That's interesting because I don't mind tower defense.
I do. I hate it.
If it's played, if it's done in the right way, and it's getting like overwhelmingly positive, released on May the 21st.
Yeah, people really like it. So far, it's done real well. I'd heard of it before this email too, and have been tempted, but it is that it's the tower defense elements that do not draw me in. I'm not interested.
Right.
In that.
Oh, these guys are they did the Full Throttle remastered. So that's the developer here did the Full Throttle. Remember that game or not?
Yeah, I remember that. Sure.
Shiny Shoe.
The old the LucasArts game that they remade.
Yeah. It's a great game.
Chat room. Someone that Rubicon in the chat says, "Yeah, Scott not getting all kid shows aren't made for adults too." No, I know that. But I appreciate animation. I have my whole life. I love it. It's one of my favorite things in the world. So, some kid stuff is amazing.
You like animation, but you have to have a story underpinning.
Even then, I don't necessarily. You know that Peppa Pig thing that kids are all into?
Oh, I love Peppa Pig. That's so
love
good.
Peppa Pig. I do too. It's great. It's great. You know, another great one is Oswald the Octopus. That's an amazing show. If you ever saw that, it was really good. A couple of them on Netflix that are originals lately I saw and were really good. I like to see that stuff. Whether I don't need to have a kid around to watch it. I like that stuff in general. What I'm saying to you is that Muppet Babies was aimed at nobody. It was written by people who didn't understand their audience, and it's garbage.
I disagree.
I know you do.
I disagree because this Muppet Babies felt the right time for because there weren't enough cartoons during the time. There was a lot of adventure cartoons going on, and they were trying to aim some stuff at girls. And I'm not saying this was just specifically girls, but I'm saying it was meant to be a broad spectrum to appeal to all kids of any gender under a certain age. And so I appreciate it because I didn't start watching Muppet Babies because I was like, oh, Muppet Babies. I watched it because my sisters were watching it because they were watching stuff like Care Bears, Muppet Babies, that whole...
Yeah, same here. My sister Wendy was all into it as well. I totally get that.
Yeah, so I think this was aimed at, just any gender, which was something that was lacking at the time.
Lemonade talks about Arthur. Loved Arthur. That was great. Blue's Clues, totally no problem. That was great. But this
Wait, original Blue's Clues or after he left?
Oh, I don't. So Steve versus who's the other guy?
Steve. What's the second guy's name?
Steve and his cousin. It was like his cousin or his brother or his friend.
Yeah.
His name was Paul or Jeff. I don't remember.
Jeff.
Dude.
That sounds right. Jeff.
What was his name?
Jeff.
It was like he was. I just remember he wasn't so thin. It looked like he'd actually ate.
Yeah. Actually, because
the first guy looked like he looks like he didn't eat. The first. Oh, Joe.
he
was
just
his name.
seemed look frail. He looked like a guy that would live in a doghouse with a dog.
Yeah, Joe is the guy's name.
That looked right. Joe.
Yeah, that stuff's fine. Okay, the person who I would like to address now is J.C. Calhoun, and then I'm done with this conversation. He says the audience for Muppet Babies is really young kids. He's totally right. Here's my problem. It's for young kids, and it's like giving kids junk food. It's like a Twinkie version of a cartoon show. Whereas something like, I don't know, I can't think of a good example other than Peppa Pig, but let's just use that as a modern one.
Peppa Pig's good.
That is okay for you as well.
Right.
Like you're actually going to get something out of it.
It uses the which is I think Rocco's Modern Life. Joe Murray did it better than just about anybody,
Yeah,
making sure that he was making something that was consumable by younger people, but also could be enjoyed by someone older.
Yeah.
So,
dude, Rocco's Modern
Muppet
Life,
Babies,
amazing show.
Yeah.
Love that show. Who was it? What
Muppet
was the
Babies
cow?
was very much targeted to one.
What was the cow's name in that? His weird friend, the cow. Heifer, dude.
Heifer.
I
Rocco
loved
and
Heifer. Heifer
and
was
Philbert.
Heifer was great. And by the way, you may not know this because HBO Max is terrible at marketing. But HBO Max has a gigantic Adult Swim section, a gigantic Cartoon Network section, and a really big Crunchy. They bought Crunchyroll, I guess, so they have this huge Crunchyroll section of like anime and stuff, both subbed and non-subbed. It's amazing. It's crazy.
I'm glad. I hope Crunchyroll finds a solid home somewhere because I always forget about Crunchyroll.
Well, it's got a home now.
It is,
Warner Brothers owns it now, so it's got a home now.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully they'll market it in a way that it'll remind.
And home movies. Tondragosa brought up home movies. It is amazing. It's a total classic. It's some of the original people that went on to make Bob's Burgers eventually, and 100 other things in between.
Oh, yeah.
That show is on HBO Max as well. So if you want to go way back, Squiggle Vision era of home movies.
I saw it. I caught it, and I had never seen it before. And I caught it the other last month. I caught it on regular TV or some weird place. I don't know what they sold it somewhere, but it's like you were saying. But
was it Coach McGurk? Was it an episode with Coach McGurk in it?
That sounds right.
Because that
sounds right.
John J. Benjamin there playing Coach McGurk. Anyway,
hey Sean Bean, let's let you know I hit Keymailer up for that. Hit the developer up for a copy of this Monster Train, so maybe I get a chance.
I think I did too, and I haven't heard anything from them. I think I did that couple weeks ago.
Good Shepherd Entertainment. Okay, Shiny Shoe is the developer.
Usually, when a game's taken off this big, the devs don't give codes out so easy. So,
and that's fine.
We'll see.
That's fine. I'm not ready to. I got a pretty big backlog, and $22 for this.
Sure.
I have to wait unless it shows up at my door, in which case it may get preferential treatment.
Here's one more from him. He asked this question. He says, on to my question. How long did you spend researching a game before you decided to buy it? I love watching gameplay videos on YouTube, and frequently this leads me to trying games, but sometimes I buy a game only to find out that it's not quite as fun for me as the content creator made it seem. Hope you're both well. Sean B. from New Jersey. Well, Sean B. from NJ, I do a similar thing. I have kind of a smattering of voices I trust out there. And I also kind of know if a game's going to be my jam right from the announcement. Like I kind of know. And if I know who's doing it, and if I trust that developer, I feel pretty good about things. So I'm not worried, for example, about what's it called? the freaking
research?
The Cyberpunk 2077, that thing.
Oh yeah, that's going to be good.
I'm not worried about Cyberpunk because I really like CD Projekt Red's games. I think The Witcher 3 was one of the greatest games ever made, and the other Witcher games are pretty great. I have high hopes and high expectations that they're going to be able to hit their mark. So that's kind of an automatic for me. You don't even have to think about it. But a lot of times with little games, you don't know until you get your hands on it. I thought Deep Rock Galactic was a pale attempt to try to create a Left 4 Dead kind of vibe. And in some ways, it is based on that DNA. It's you and it's 3 other friends taking down spiders as you move on, having goals to meet and getting out of there. There's some similarities, all right? I totally get it. But it's its own unique spin to the point that it's become like its own unique thing. It's got nothing to do with Left 4 Dead or that DNA. So my feeling is sometimes you got to wait a little bit, see how it goes. fiddle faddle around with it. See what developers do at early access the best, and that means like communicate with their listeners, or not their listeners, their community, and say, hey, patch 3 point whatever's coming out this weekend. Check this out, or whatever. All of that goes a long way to do it for me. Yeah,
that's a big target for me to hit when I'm looking for a game to play. If it's been recently released, of course, I'm like, okay, I gotta take a chance. But if it's like been like a couple of months, I look for updates. I mean, if you're not giving out community updates, then you're not engaged. You've kind of done your game, on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So I definitely watch for developers who are, and that's why I love the indie scene. The indie scene is totally into that.
Yeah, indie scene's where I want to be, son. Chat room makes a clarification. Something I said earlier about the Crunchyroll collection is not all that deep, and you're correct. I'm looking at it here. Hold on. They have a whole section
I got
called
Crunchyroll,
the Crunchyroll
like on every device I own, but I always forget about it because it's such a specific thing.
I mean, there's more. They said there's only 17 on here. It seems like there's more than that. But anyway, the point is that this will grow. They've only got what they've got so far, so expect to see a bunch more.
Just watch some more episodes of Friends and shut up.
Hey, if you like old Looney Tunes, like the stuff from the 40s that started it all, 30s and 40s and 50s, go get HBO Max. I'm not trying to just do advertising for HBO Max, but it's new, so, digging around in it.
Yeah.
They have an enormous backlog, and it's all like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not remastered, but like the really good quality versions of the prints. They all look amazing.
Good transfers.
Oh yeah, that's what the word I'm looking for is.
Yeah.
So anyway, something to check out, something to look at. They also have the Studio Ghibli collection.
They do, and that is such good stuff. Did you go back and watch Totoro?
It's got My Neighbor Totoro. It's got Spirited Away with that thing that eats furniture and throws it up. You got Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke, Ponyo, Musica. Where's that one? Someone this morning says, Steven Schleicher says I should have, unless I really want to be depressed, I should avoid this one about fireflies, but I don't see it in here. Maybe it's not here yet.
Oh, I don't see that.
Anyway, enough about animation. I don't know why I'm going off on that.
Wow, I don't know, man, but we had such a good roll. I almost hate to...
We almost had a Crunchyroll.
Tune in next week for the Boop and Bop Show.
Yeah, we'll let you know how that goes. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Frogpants.com/BOOP is our address to go visit and get things. That includes old episodes of the show. If you want to contact us, that's all there. You can send us direct emails at boopshow@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter and say stuff there if you want, at Boop Show. We have a Reddit page. I don't know how active it is because I haven't been in there in a while. But
yeah, I'm not going to lie. We've neglected our Reddit page.
We should probably do more in there. But boopshow.reddit.com. There's also a frogpants.reddit.com. Maybe it all moved over there. I don't know. I need to be on Reddit more. I need to be everywhere more. I need to be in the Discord more. Oh, we have a Discord channel. Have I mentioned that? You can be part of our Discord. Head on over to frogpants.com.
Now that's where you'll find Brian.
That's right.
Discord channel.
Discord's where we're at mostly these days. Frogpants.com/boop has a link right to it. It's an open invitation. You don't have to do anything special. Just go hop in. And I think that's going to do it. All right, Brian, in your current state today, not feeling your best, but doing okay. Do you have any advice for the fine folks at home?
The frying folks.
The frying folks.
The frying folks at home should tune in. If you're curious, you're like, hey, what research do I need to do for indie video games? Tune in here to the Boop Show. We talk about indie video games.
Wow.
Tell you what's good and what's not so good.
Yeah. You got no time for that. Just kidding.
You got no time for that?
That's it, everybody. Have a good week. Have a good time. Be safe. Stay out of trouble. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Oh, I forgot to hold on.
I was about to say, where's it at?
Here's it all at.
I love Steam. I don't like Steam.
There, we got them all. Kind of screwed that up.